So for this part, I would like to go the Caroline.
Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you all in today's meeting. We are happy to have you, everyone here from different parts of the world. As we are having more people join us, we hope they are going to join us on time. Shayek was supposed to do the welcome speech, but because I think he just dropped off, we are going to get started, and he will probably do his speech later on. And we are also having the next speaker who is going to talk about Icare a bit, having some troubles connecting. He should be joining us in a few minutes. But all in all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Caroline Nyarangi. I come from Kenya. I'm the president of Icare Sustainably International. I would like to request you also to bear with my voice. I traveled to some rural village and I caught some cold. So I'm really trying to keep up with the speaking. I hope I won't cough in between, but I hope we'll be okay. So a little bit about Icare Sustainably. We are a non-profit that was started by a group of global individuals who are passionate about sustainability in all aspects. And we decided to create Icare Sustainably back in 2018. And we recently got our registration, but we've been on since 2018, and we've been doing projects online most of the time, especially our mini projects program that you're part of today. And we are a team of different, our team hails from different parts of the world, and that is our strength as Icare, because we believe in inclusivity. We believe in having everyone on board in terms of working towards achieving sustainable development, because you realize that this is not just one person's work or one nation's work. We all need to work together to be able to achieve sustainability in all aspects. I believe most of you are versed with the UN SDG Sustainable Development Goals, and we are passionate about achieving that because we believe that it provides a roadmap for people and for the planet to be able to live in harmony with each other, and also to have a sustainable future in a way that we are able to utilize the available resources responsibly, with thinking about the future generations. We don't want to deplete the resources for the future generations. We want to make sure that the future generations are able to enjoy the resources that we are enjoying right now. So I'll pass my mic to Noor to continue and probably call the next speaker. I would request that you skip the speaker that was going to talk about Icare until I communicate with him. Maybe we can go to the second speaker.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear Honorable Caroline, for sharing such a bit as a welcome speech. I hope we will have a great session from you for the mini project program. And again, now I would like to call the next speaker, Engineer Nawal Alhanaee from UAE, who will talk about SDG survey, that is energy transition strategy towards achieving the net zero. So yes, of course, over to you.
Okay, thank you everyone. So let me share my screen. I have a small presentation. I hope my presentation is clear.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's visible.
Yes, thank you. So basically, my name is Nawal Alhanaee. I'm the Director of Future Energy Department in the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, UAE. Today, I'll speak with you. I'll give you a glimpse about the UAE energy strategy, the updated version that supports the SDG 7, which is about the clean energy and affordable energy. So basically, UAE have an ambition journey when it's come to climate action, and also the energy transition was started at the beginning of establishment the country. However, today our focus from 2017 when we have launched the first energy strategy for the country, and it was the first unified energy strategy that balanced between the demand and supply for energy and ensure the security of the energy in the UAE. So basically, after that, we have several key milestones that keep us or made us one of the leader country when it's come to global energy supply. So we also have a diversified energy mix where we have nuclear, we have renewable energy, and also we have gas within our energy mix that support the sustainability of the country and supports also the security, affordability in between. We also have launched our leadership roadmap in hydrogen in 2021. And after that, we have started updated our energy strategy as we completed more than 5 years, making sure that we plug or make the key core or the core element in the strategy is achieving net zero by 2050, where the country has announced this by 2021. So basically, also we have launched the National Hydrogen Strategy on this July, and I will give some glimpse about it later on. So this is the major changes that has been done from the previous or the first energy strategy compared to the updated energy strategy, compared to the cost, compared to the energy efficiency, reduction in grid emission factor is the lowest and the cleanest energy produced compared to the Middle East and Asia, compared to the 2021 data. And we are aiming to keep and maintain this position till 2030, where we have identified 0.27 kilogram CO2 per kilowatt hour to be our UAE grid emission factor. Definitely, the COP28 will be a key milestone in UAE, which will be hosted in Dubai in November. You are all welcome to visit the COP28, which is the biggest and largest climate action conference in the world. And we are pleasured and happy to host this prestigious event. The COP28 presidency has called all the countries to triple their renewable energy to make sure that we achieve the targets for Paris Agreement. And so did the UAE. When we updated our energy strategy, we doubled the capacity, the renewable energy capacity by 2025, and we triple it as being pledged by COP28 to 3 times by 2030. As you see here, there is one of the leader competitiveness reports that is published by IMD, which is focusing on the energy transition pillar. You'll see UAE has jumped from the 10th, ranked 10th to 2nd this year, which make us very proud and happy because we have invested a lot in our energy to make it cleaner and sustainable. We also pledged to have 30% by 2030 as a clean energy installed capacity. And this is also the differentiation between the installed capacity and the generation for 2030 till 2050. This is some key milestones. I will not go in detail due to the time limitation. However, this showcases what is our plan till 2050 to achieve the net zero for the water and energy sector, to support our direction, the country direction in this regard. This is some glimpse about the energy efficiency, where we previously has anticipated to have 40% reduction. However, we have increased our ambition and targeted 42 up to 45% to be the new target for the efficiency for energy in the country within the National Water and Energy Demand Management Program. For the national hydrogen strategy, we have also identified to be one of the leading countries in producing hydrogen by 2031 within the UAE 2031 vision. And this is only to make sure that we develop a resilient hydrogen supply chain, consolidate the UAE role as a leading global producer and supplier for low carbon fuel, specifically hydrogen. And here in UAE, we don't specify any colors, so we are promoting all the colors, whatever what it's our concern, or what we focus on is the intensity of the carbon intensity. It should be low, and this will be making the fuel clean and more sustainable. And we are promoting the innovation industrial zone in the UAE and establishing the repost hydrogen economy that support the UAE national country decarbonization effort. Those are some of the key targets that we have specified for 2031 and 2040. We also have 2040. However, we didn't plug it here. And the key messages is UAE currently is targeting 1.4 million ton per annum to produce low carbon hydrogen, and targeting up to 15 million ton per annum low carbon hydrogen. Those are some of the key elements and 10 elements that will make us achieving those targets and all our country ambition when it comes to hydrogen. And we are working in parallel on all those elements with our key and national champions in the country. And this is the implementation phases for the strategy itself. And if there is any question, I'll be more than happy to take it. Thank you.
Well. Thank you so much, dear Honorable Engineer Nawal, for sharing such an impactful and productive sharing regarding the UAE energy transition strategies toward achieving net zero. And I hope that everyone have learned and they have known that how the energy transition system and is going on and what will be the next step for the UAE. Thank you so much for being with us, and I hope that we will have a longer session with you to know much more. So right now, I would like to go for our Caroline about the mini project program. So for the mini project program, I would like to call the Caroline right now. So what do you, Caroline?
Hi, before I get started, is Nelson here? Nelson, are you in yet? Nelson? Okay, seems like he's still trying to join in. We are having a challenge with our Zoom, so we are trying to sort it out with the customer care. So you're going to bear with us, and I realized a lot of people don't have Skype, so they are trying to download it on their mobile phone. That's the downside of technology again. So the good thing is that we are recording the meeting. We'll be able to share with them as soon as we get started. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the mini projects program. And with that, I'll start by giving a brief background of the program, how it started, the objectives of the program. I will share also the impact of the program in the previous 2 runs that we've had, and also talk about the mentoring process, what it is and what is expected of the mentors and everything. So the mini projects program was launched back in 2021. It was part of our contribution to the Global Week of Action, and we decided to create a project that was going to create a ripple effect in terms of projects globally. And we thought of creating the mini projects program. So in 2021, which was our first run, we had about 10 projects that were completed. And these projects hailed from about 8 countries, and we also had 15 participants and 8 mentors, and all this covered about 13 SDGs. So you may want to ask yourself what the mini projects is. This is a hybrid program that is aimed at accelerating the achievement of the SDGs and is expected to create the largest possible impact globally with a limited budget. Most of our participants are aspiring social impact leaders, those who are within the local communities and are seeing the challenges, living with the challenges on a daily basis. And they feel like they can do something about it. And some of them don't have the finances to be able to probably do a big project. So we emphasize on doing small actions, and in all the efforts put together, you realize that all these small actions result into big impact, as you're going to see in my presentation as we move on. So this also provides us a platform where we are able to connect global social impact leaders for them to be able to share their best practices and also foster global connectivity. And the aim of this is to be able to create a rippling effect where we are able to encourage more people to do similar projects within their localities and also innovate on solutions based on the challenges that they face on a daily basis. So I have mentioned about the 2021 mini projects program, and we've said the impact that we had about 8 projects that were completed. Now, the 2022 projects was also very impactful. And looking at all these projects, as you can see on my pictures, you can see the impact that the mini projects program is creating in different parts of the world. For example, the first project hails from Cameroon. This was a team of social impact leaders. Actually, they were just a team of individuals who decided to visit a local school. And looking at the state of this school and the kids in the school, the deplorable state they were, you can look at the classroom that they visited at first. This is where they were studying. And when they saw this, they were touched and decided to create a project, a quick project to be able to help these students have a better learning conditions. So they were able to mobilize their network, and they were also able to connect with us as Icare. We provided them a mentor who was able to guide them through the project on how to package themselves, how to fundraise for this project, how to reach out to the network. And eventually, this is what you can see. I hope you can see my cursor moving. So at the end of it all, this is what you can see that particular project was able to achieve. You can see the impact of this. You can see the children very happy with the beautiful bags. You can also see the communities also receiving food supplies and all that. So this is what we are talking about when we talk about the mini projects program. Our second project hailed from Uganda. This project was done by a team of refugees actually from Congo. These refugees reside in Uganda and they do a lot of different things. You can see that they are working on plastic solutions. You can see yoga teams there. So they are mobilizing teams within their localities to keep them from getting into drugs, young people from getting into drugs, and also to try to solve the challenges that they face within their camps where they are staying in the refugee camps in Uganda. So you can see how impactful this team was. And initially, the team did not have the expertise of being able to how package themselves and sell themselves out there. So with the help of the mini projects program and our mentor, we were able to help them understand the impact of selling your story, telling your story and the way to tell your story to the world. And right now they are still moving on and standing and doing projects. And you can see that the impact, look at that amount of plastic that they've been able to collect, and look at the innovative solutions that they've had. And as I mentioned earlier, they also do a lot of other things like quilting, and also they have some school learning programs for young children, older adults, and all that. So this is a great project, and this is the impact that the mini projects program is causing globally. So I will try to expand this so that you can see the literature here. Let me know if you're able to see it. Oh, sorry. Now you can see the first project, the direct, which was hailing from Sierra Leone, of the school program. The direct impact it had a direct impact of around 300 people, and approximately 1,000 people indirectly. That is a huge impact of a small project that was started within a span of actually 2 months. And the project owner didn't actually have any finances. And through the mini projects Icare, they were able to be trained, and they practiced in practical on how to fundraise, and they were able to mobilize their resources from their network, and this is the achievement that they made. So we had another project that was from the Netherlands, we had another project that was from Kenya, and we also had another project that was from India. And this is the impact that they had. I will share with you this document later so that you can continue seeing the impact that we had. This was a project from Kenya. They used football to be able to keep the young people off the streets and stop them from being idle. And also it focuses on wellness and fitness. And we also had this project from India by our sister Sagamitra. Sagamitra is also our mentor, our in-house mentor, and she's also the head of our research and fundraising team. So you can see the mini projects program provides a forum where people are able to get together and also share the best practices, share how to do things well, and be able to impact the global world in sustainability and all this. So all these pictures show the impact that we've had through the mini projects program. So what is the process? What is the mentorship process? Let me put this in full screen. So the mentorship process starts with, we started with doing an orientation program with the participants. We took them through the process, what is expected of them. And at the end of it all, we asked them to submit as some projects. They applied for some projects and they gave us their concepts. And through our vetting committee, we were able to choose the projects that we wanted to admit to the program. We have a vetting criteria that our brother Efiong is going to talk about next, the criteria that we use to choose these projects. But I'm going to talk about the process of how it starts, how we, after we admit the participants, and after the vetting committees have chosen the projects, we start also by doing also the orientation for the mentors, which we are doing right now, we are currently doing right now. And then we assign the mentors to each participant. This is the next step after this meeting. We are going to assign the mentors with each, we are going to match the mentors with the participants. Mostly what we look at is the expertise and the areas of interest, both for the mentors and also looking at the project itself and trying to see if it aligns with them, with the what the mentor is interested in. So we will assign the project to the mentor. And I would like to mention this as we move on, that it is not necessarily that we are going to assign you a project that is based on your expertise. No. Sometimes it's difficult to get a project that is aligned with the expertise that people have. But the basic concept is about the concepts of what a project project management process is. I'm sure most of you are experts in your fields, and all of you do projects in one way or another. So you understand the process of project management right from the start to monitoring and evaluation. So those are some of the skills that we would expect you to employ. Like, for example, I wish, I don't know if one of our mentors who was supposed to give a testimonial has been able to join. He will be able to tell you that we assigned him a project that was not in line with his expertise at all. But at the end of the program, he was really able to learn a lot from the project and was able to also help the participants a lot based on his own personal expertise. So it's always more about thinking outside the box and being able to apply the skills that you have, the expertise that you have. And the challenges that the participants will come with are not a straight line kind of challenges that will tell you this is what they have. And we expect you that once we assign the participant to you, you're going to initiate the initial communication. And this communication is very important because that's where you're going to be able to understand deeply what the participant needs for his project. You'll find that the participants have different needs. Others have needs in terms of how do they raise finances for their very specific initiatives. And that is where you come in as a mentor. You can provide them with strategies on how to be able to effectively fundraise, especially within their networks and all that. So, sorry. So it's all about thinking outside the box and being able to apply your own skills and knowledge to be able to effectively work together with the participants and come up with a beautiful outcome. So throughout the project durations, the participants are expected to keep a comprehensive notes of all the activities that they have undertaken. We expect that every step of the way, with the guidance of the mentors, the participants will be able to document each and every activity that they have undertaken. And this also includes the visualization. You are experts, you understand the place of visualization in terms of communicating the impact of a project. So it's very important that we have all these communications, understand the impact of documenting each and every steps that they take when they are taking the mentorship. Remember, the mentorship we said will take around 2 months. Actually, not around 2 months, exactly 2 months, because we move with a timeline. So the mentorship project program has to take exactly 2 months. So once we get this documentation, We will give you a format that is going to be explained further by our brother Effiong. This project are supposed to be documented in that particular format. And as Icare, we are going to compile this ebook into an ebook. And this ebook, we are going to publish it on our website. And also, we also allocate an ISBN number and also submit 2 copies to the National Library of Kenya for reference, and also communicate it to our network. So what is next? I'm going to move on the other parts very quickly. So it's important to ensure that we maintain a constant communication. Communication is really, really important in this aspect, both ways, both towards the participants and also to us as Icare, so that we are able to help you. And also make sure every time you face a challenge or anything, or maybe your participant is not responding, make sure to be able to contact Icare immediately. We'll be able to organize, and we'll be able to reach out also to the participant to be able to see what the problem is and be able to arrest the situation in time. After this, we'll be able to create a WhatsApp platform. And this WhatsApp platform is going to help us also ease communication between the mentors, and also will be used for our weekly or our bi-weekly, depending on how the mentors will agree on probably reporting what they are facing within while they are doing their mentorship. So they are going to agree on their WhatsApp group on when to be able to reporting that, or if it is a continuous reporting. So that is the importance of the WhatsApp group. It helps us be able to also communicate effectively with you, arrest situations on time. It's important to pay attention to the format of the final reports. You're not the one doing the reports, but we expect you to guide the participants to do the reports, and also to help them pay attention to the structure that will be provided to you. This helps us in terms of reducing the workload when we are doing the editing of the ebook and all that. So at the end of the project, we are going to do an award ceremony. So this award ceremony, normally we invite a guest speaker. Like today, we've invited Nawal. So we normally invite a guest speaker, and then we also provide certificates to both the mentors and the participants. That is a certificate of excellence, and also certificates of participations, and also to the project organizers. I'm within the call, so I'm going to stop there because of time. In case you have any question, just keep it. We are going to have a session of question and answers. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline, for giving insightful discussion regarding the mini project program. I hope everyone gets a base of knowledge regarding the mini project program, the past mini project program, and what will be the next action. So right now I can see the Nelson is here. So I would like to call the Nelson Demwanki for sharing regarding the Icare. Nelson, over to you.
Thank you. And first of all, let me apologize for getting in the meeting so late. I'm sorry I had technical issues, but I'd like to go through some few things, if I may be allowed. Let me see. I'm not sure if everybody is seeing. I'm trying to share a PowerPoint.
Right now we can see you. Yes.
All right. Thank you. And again, I'm sorry for getting in too late. I'm sorry. I've actually skipped the first slide, but I'll want to say that I'm Nelson Monge Oweru. I'm the current Kenya portfolio manager. And as Icare, I like to focus. I don't know, we don't have a lot of time, so I'll go through them very fast. The current screen you're seeing showing that we have 5 counties in Kenya that we are going through. And the second point on that, we are trying to target and expand our scope. We have 47 counties in Kenya, so we are trying to expand our scope. Currently, we have 5, and always the focus on Icare is youth empowerment and clean energy, and we are trying to collaborate with the county government and the national government. Our focus, as we have seen, is youth groups, women, and we'll use also churches and also local community representatives. But specifically, we'll focus on the youth because they are the future. All right. Now, I'm trying to get to my next screen, but it seems I'm still having the done. Now good. All right. Sorry about that. Please bear with me. As Icare, our main aim is the SDGs, and as you've seen in your screens, we focus on the quality education, no poverty, no hunger, life below water, and I wish I had enough time to actually say everything about it, but I'll also give this to be presented and to be given so that people can go through it. And Icare 2024, we focus on the mini projects. I got in between, Madam Nyarang was talking about it, the Icare mini project. And then we have this one called Small Villages. And we are working with the World Global US-based organization. They want to establish over 1,000 smart villages globally. We are lucky to have 10 of them, but as we can divide, 10 is a bit in the edges there. But what they are doing, they are focusing on rural electrification, grid system, off the grid, not the national provided grid, but off the grid, and also focusing on job creation, considering that what they are doing is they're trying to let these smart villages actually develop themselves by their own. They provide clean water, food. We have some places we are going to look at fish farming. So our main focus as for now, it is that. And we are getting good response. Madam Nyarangi at least went and talked to the people in the villages, and it is actually a very good project, in fact, for empowering young people, considering the global financial crisis, if I may put it that way. These are the future projects that will take care. We'll also engage people who would want to write, and also us, we write about the challenges that we face and the issues that we can actually take care of. The second one is my community. That is where you engage the people and the best, rather, the university around and the private sector to actually get youth to do something. And then the last one is the RRR. The global world right now, it's all digital. So we are trying to move on from the most, like the engagement we're having is digital. So also the youth, we are trying to teach them how to move to the next, where the universe is moving. And then finally, I'd like to welcome all the people that would like to engage with Icare. And I'm sorry the time is limited, but I think we can get some points here and there. Thank you, please.
Well, thank you so much, dear brother Nelson, for sharing such a wonderful presentation. And of course, the time is limitation, but we definitely will able to learn and hear a lot of things of Icare the next meeting. So thank you so much for being with us. And yes, of course, I will move forward to, I would like to welcome dear Honorable Aundia, who will talk about 2022 Mentors Testimonial. Dear Honorable Brother Aundia, are you there?
Auntie is still trying to download his Skype. So you're going to bear with him, unfortunately. I don't know if also Nora has been able to download hers. She was also having trouble with the downloads.
Okay, no problem. And so now I would like to go forward. So in this time, I would like to share my words now, because I will talk about the mentors training and the types of mentorship that we have to follow during our mentorship time, mentorship direction. So I would like to share my screen to share a bit regarding the mentorship, and I think everyone know about the mentors, why, what is called mentor, and some other things. So yes, of course, mentors is all about the coaching, training, direction, giving support to achieve the success. And there's a lot of benefit of mentorship. It actually discover your strength. You actually gain key skills like communication. It also increase your knowledge and confidence to have the career direction from the professional experience mentor. And that is really required for each and every mentee. So there is a really great framework and guides that actually will improve the provision and quality of mentorship, and that lead to enhance the self-efficacy of mentors and mentees alike. So there is a number of mentorship criteria. So if I'm going through that, is on-site mentoring, offline mentoring, non-judgmental mentoring, supportive mentoring, individual mentoring, and developmental mentoring. I will try to share a bit of each type of mentoring, and that will actually give you the insights. So first of all, the on-site learning, and yes, this is a very impactful, positive impacts that actually create on mentees, mentors, and the organization to improve the well-being and engagement of professional development and learning. Basically, this is the connection between the mentee, mentors, and the organization. And what on-site learning actually talk about the 6 elements. While O is talk about offline, while N is all about the non-judgmental and non-evaluative, is for supportive of mentees, I for individualized, D for developmental and growth, E for empowering. Basically, actually, it is capture all the types of mentorship. And what actually on-site mentor role? As a mentor, you have to think about an on-site mentorship style. If you are really considering a on-site mentorship style, you have to thinking that what will be your role? Your role to support your mentee for professional learning, enhancement their practice, as well as the evolving in the career progression. Your mentee may have different kinds of support depending on the stage of their career. Your mentee needs some additional career-based, all the direction, their needs can change. Even in your mentorship role, you need to tailor your support to meet their current and emerging needs. Basically, this is the vast level of mentorship of within the mentorship style. Now, I will talk about the offline mentoring. Offline mentoring, trust me, always focus. In other words, offline mentoring is when a mentor is not a line manager of the mentee. So basically, this is, according to the research, this is the most effective mentorship style when it is offline. Offline mentoring could result much more developmental and open mentoring relationship. And this is very also impactful, where mentor role will be to discuss with your mentee what approaches they think they will find most helpful. Only restate the fact you have heard, purpose of clarification, try to return to the concept of mentoring contract, renegotiate it if required, try to engage the criterion reflection and some other goals you have. So you have to go through this kind of role with human. So another form that is non-judgmental mentoring, and that is mainly found to completely different kinds of approach, that is developmental as well as collaborative. So if you are really consider about the developmental and collaborative action-based work, so you can go on the non-judgmental mentoring. So in the non-judgmental mentoring, what will be the mentor role? That's your role. You can share some of your teaching or sharing the method of sharing. You also ask a mentor about the expectation of two roles. You can also clarify and explain the further your roles as a mentor and your responsibility. You also clarify and explain that their role as mentee and responsibility and some other roles you should actually have to follow as if you are following the non-judgmental mentorship. So yes, it's also focus the grow model, that is go reality option will. So I'm not going to go so details as the time is limitation. So another mentorship, that is supportive mentorship. Maybe you are asking that, what do you talking about the supporting mentorship? There is you have shared the three other mentorship things. Those are not supportive. Absolutely, those are supportive. But supportive mentorship also are different criteria. This mentorship supportive seeks to aware of and responsive to the changing emotional, I repeat, emotional and psychological needs of the mentee. This is mainly focused as a supportive mentoring. Suppose if your mentee is not able to open about the issue they are having, this will limit the support you are able to provide, and supportive mentor definitely take the other interest in their mentee and try to add several questions to get the ultimate fact to give the relief as a solution. So there's the way the mentor and mentor relationship actually going to achieve the goal. And what will be the role of the as a mentor of supportive mentoring? You have to be flexible and responsive in pursuing what is more immediately of concern of your mentee. You have to be good active listener. You have to work with them. Otherwise, you can't even know their weakness, their strength. You also avoid the changing any level that mentee applies to discuss their emotional well-being. You can also encourage them to reflect that what is going well for them as well. And right now I would like to talk about the individualism mentorship. And this is individualized approach mainly put your mentee and their needs as its center. See the difference. The supportive is all about the mentor will give the supportive psychological support of mentee. Here, the individualism mentoring focus put your mentee and their needs as its center. In this section, you can actually have the basic principle that you should draw on. Firstly, that's important to recognize that no two mentee are the same, because men's all the things are varying each and every one. So their strength, their weakness are not will be the same. So we have to think about them, their needs in a center level. So what will be the role as an individualism mentoring? So the role will be the get to know your mentee and getting to know them throughout your mentoring process. You can also help them to develop their own internal dialogue that they can use to reflect on their practice alone and with others as well. Also, as well as the regular mentoring conversation, you have to be prepared the spontaneous discussion to address issues that have arisen while they are still fresh. So the last one, I think, the developmental mentoring and development mentoring focusing the growth-oriented strategy. Here, it is actually grounded to ethos that they recognize your mentee as a peer, as a knowledgeable practitioner, and see that the moral development approach to mentoring shift control from the mentor to the mentee. Basically, your mentee will be treated as a peer. That will actually give some way to make them path to get a developmental mentoring. And I think this is another great mentoring style if you actually follow it. So, the mentor role will be the very impactful things like collaborative with the mentee, try to listen to the mentee and encourage the growing self-reliance. I repeat, growing self-reliance. You also encourage and support the regular reflection. You also care plan with their mentee. You also share some information with their mentee. As a mentor, you are also thinking about the growth and passion-based mentoring. You also focus the educative mentoring. So this is the way you can also do your mentorship with your mentee. And I think I will share the slide to all the mentor, whatever and what kind of style, if you interested to follow, you can go through during the mentorship program. So thank you so much to all of you to listen with patience. And I will move forward to the next session. So now I would like to call their Honorable Ifong to share about the project vetting criteria and the final report format. The Honorable Brother Ifong, are you there? Caroline? Okay, so I think Ifong is not available.
Let me do the presentation of this format because it's very
All
important.
right. All right.
I'm trying to share my screen. If Young is also having troubles with connecting, it's interesting. A lot of people don't have Skype, so it's a bit conveniencing when you have a meeting. So this is the format of the final reports. This is what we expect you to be able to guide the participants to do when they're doing their final reports. So the page size is A4, which is the normal page size that we normally use, and the normal margins. And then when it comes to the headings, we have different levels. We have level 1, level 2, level 3. And this is the description of the font types that we expect you to guide the participants to be able to utilize. So the level 1, we are going to expect you, the level 1 of the headings, the titles, to be Times New Roman, or others call it New Times Roman. And that will be points 36, font 36. Then level 2, font 28, level 3, font 22. So the alignment, the first level, the alignment is supposed to be the center. You're supposed to, the first level, like the first title is supposed to be centered. Level 2 and below, they're supposed to be aligned to the left. Don't worry, we are going to share this document with you, so you're going to follow it closely. You're going to study it and be able to guide you when you're guiding the participants in doing the final format. So when we go to the body, this is the font sizes. We expect it to be font 12. Then the line spacing should be 1.5, and then the alignment should be justified. Okay, so it is still the same New Times Roman. So what is the content of the project reports? What do we expect to get in the project reports? So the project title will consist of the name of the participant, the contact details, maybe the email, website, or social media page, and then they are going to also indicate the start date of where they started the project, when they started the project. And then they're also going to indicate the end date. And then the project type, are they working as an individual, as an organization, as a group? It doesn't necessarily matter. Someone can do a project as an individual, someone can do a project as a group or as an organization. So they are going to indicate the type of the project that they are doing. And then when we talk of the scale, we are going to talk about the house, if the project is conducted within the household level, the neighborhood level, the school level, university level, organizational level. So this is what we expect to get on the title and the levels that I have mentioned up earlier above in terms of how they are going to be aligned. And then the last part on the title, we are going to expect you to also help the participants identify the SDGs that has been covered by their project. Most of the participants, sometimes you find that they don't understand the SDGs that has been covered by their project. They only know that they are doing a solution to a community challenge, but they don't know what SDG the solution is covering. So as a mentor, we expect you to help the participant understand the SDGs based on your communications and the description of the project once you start engaging with the participant. So after that, we're going to have the introduction part. That is the first part of the project report. So we expect that the participants would do an introduction of the project from around 150 to 300 words. This is going to help us understand what the project is about, or anyone reading the project report to be able to understand what the project is all about. Some people call this an abstract. So whatever title you want to give it, so we expect it to be an introduction. And then the next part, we are going to get the methodology. So this is where the participants describes the project that they conducted, the way they conducted the project, and identifying all the efforts. That's why I mentioned that it is important to document all the steps that the participants take, because it is going to help them when they are now doing the final report. They are not going to start thinking through what they did, because they've already documented everything that they've done. So they are going to describe how they conducted the project, identifying all the efforts. They're also going to mention if they required funding for the purpose. Based on the experience that we've had in the previous runs, we've had projects that have no budget to, some have had also funding, external funding that they've used to also do the projects with us. So this is where they're going to indicate if their project required funding based on the scale of the project. And then they're also going to indicate how they got the funding to do their project. Some will tell you that they were able to source from their immediate network, their family members, others who say that they used probably a personal saving. So it is important that they indicate the method of sourcing their funding. Then if the project was funded, we expect them to develop an income and expense account. This is where you also come in as a mentor. But I've gone through the participants list this year. I've realized that most of the participants are learned, so it may not be very difficult for them to probably do this. But as a mentor, we expect you to guide them to make sure that they have developed the income and expense account. Why do we need this? It is to help the social impact leaders understand the importance of maybe communicating their sources of financing, how they are using their financing, bookkeeping in their projects and all that. Sorry. So the other part is to identify the experiences they gained throughout the project. What experiences did they gain? And here you also you can also have a clip as a mentor where you can also indicate your experiences when you are working with the mentee. And then you add the difficulties that you had to endure. I really liked a format a previous mentor from Mexico used in a project. The mentor was able to document every step. It was included in the ebook. If you can look at our website, you can see the 2022 mini projects ebook, and then I'll be able to communicate on WhatsApp on the exact project report. And then you can peruse and see what the mentor did with the mentee on reporting that aspect. It was really beautiful. But this is where I said also, because we are experts in our different fields, so we expect you guys to think outside the box, see how is the best way of trying to communicate this. But this information should be captured very well. So as I mentioned previously, that we expect visualization of the projects. In the previous run, we had some projects that could not be visualized because they were research projects, and some members embarked on a research project where they had not started doing the project, but they were working on their research proposals and refining their research proposals with our mentors. So they could not actually visualize, but they were able to also record impact on how they started with their research, where they started, and how what they were able to achieve by the end of the 2 months. So if there are any photos, we expect that the next, this is where you're going to also add the photos, and also make sure to adhere to the guideline, use between around 200 and 1,000 words. That is to be guided to by the mentor to the participants. It should be communicated clearly. So the next slide, we expect you to provide the outcome, explain the outcome of the project. Because you have already described the project, you have given us the methodology. Now we expect you to give us the outcome. This is where we are able also to measure where did you start and what did you achieve by the end of these 2 months. So you will explain, you'll help the participant explain the outcomes of the project, describe the method used to measure the outcome. Also mention if you will do any follow-ups on the project if required, maybe probably after the 2 months period. If we have had some mentors also do a continuous follow-up on the projects and see if they're still standing, how they are. Like we have our sister Nora, who mentored her first project in 2021, and she's been following up on this project throughout. Whenever she has a time, she checks in on the participants and sees what the participant is still doing. So you will mention on this part if, as a mentor, you're going to do any follow-ups on the project, if required. And also, this is where you also design the scope of the project, because you realize that some projects are really ambitious. Like, for example, the school, like the classroom project, or the school renovation project that was done by our brother from Sierra Leone. The project was huge. The vision they had for the project was huge. With the help of the mentor, they were able to sit down and design the scope that was deliverable within the span of those 2 months, and what they were able to, they will be able to achieve. So if the project has a huge scope, try to help the participant break the scope into manageable, manageable plans that they're able to do probably within this span of 2 months, and then they can explain that later on we are going to do this and this and this. So it doesn't mean that when someone has said this is what they want to do, they have to finish that thing within the 2 months. We all expect you to communicate what the project has, where it started, what it has achieved so far, what it has been able to achieve so far, and what is expected to be achieved at a future date if required. There are some projects, of course, that end with the 2 months. Like, let's say if someone is planning a community cleanup or a feeding program, that they are planning probably a feeding program for around 2 months or something. So such kind of projects, you expect them to end within the 2 months, and the person will conclude the project. But there are others that you have to design the scope with the participants, work with the participants, break them into manageable cycles. So the last part is the impact message. This is where now you identify how the project contributed to the selected SDGs. And as I mentioned, it is important to help the participants understand the very specific SDGs that their projects touched on. So you identify how the project contributed to the selected SDGs, and then write a note to the global audience about the project. This is for the participants, of course, with the guidance of the mentors. So this is them. They are going to do a note to the global audience about the project and what they feel that the project has helped them achieve, and what can be achieved with global corporations or anything. So if you prefer, you can include a feedback on how this webinar, for example, helped you or supported you in your mentorship journey, or rather, you can also include the support that you get from the Icare team members during the mentorship period. If they supported you through the program, they reached out to you. So you can also include that on the next slide. So these are the guidelines on the photos. The photos can include photos of you. Like, for example, during the mentoring session, you can capture screenshots of your sessions with your mentees. They can also be included in the photos gallery session. And then also, they can also include the participants while they are doing their projects. Like what you saw in the previous clip that I showed, we had different pictures, people doing different projects in different parts of the world. So those are some of the images that we expect to get from the participants, such that they take photos. And the good thing is that we are in the digital age. people have smartphones, they can take photos through the smartphones and all that. So they can send in, of course, they need to include those photos on the document, the report, the final report. We have the aspect of when photos are taken, try to advise the person to take photos that are not so revealing to the identity of the faces of, let's say, the beneficiaries, especially if they are kids. And if you have to reveal the identity of the faces, it is important that you get a signed permission from the people who have given you the photos or the people you've taken photos. This should be clearly communicated to the participants so that they don't just take photos anyhowly and then we get sued probably for using photos of people. So it is important to make sure that whatever photos they submit, they have a signed permission to use the photos. And we are also going to provide a consent form, which also will allow the participants to allow us to use the photos for our own communications. So at the end of also of the session, we will provide them the consent form that they are going to sign. And especially if it is a child involved, it is important to make sure that a signed consent comes from an adult, not the child. So the signed consent should be done by the adults, submitted to the mentors. At the end, when the mentors are submitting the final reports, we expect you to submit also the letter of permission for the photos. And then if there are no letters of permission, then we have a way of concealing the identity of individuals in photos. So you can use that aspect so that it is not very clear as to who is being seen. Like I had the previous clip where we have some white shape on the face where you're not able to recognize the person. You can see the people working, but you're not able to recognize the person. Or you can also ask the people to face sideways, where they are not able to be captured directly, or it can be also be taken from behind. So we expect respect towards receivers of all the projects. We make sure that we also safeguard the contents of the projects that have been submitted to us. We safeguard them. All the information that we get, we make sure that we safeguard them, especially right now in the digital age. So this is the income and expense account. So you can see how it looks like. If, let's say, for example, someone bought groceries, stationaries, used money for internet and everything, it will be recorded on this side that you can see my cursor. I don't know if you can see it. And then the fundraising, the money that comes in goes to the right side. So the expenses goes to the left side, and the income goes to the right side. So this is how they are supposed to show their income and expense account. And I think if we can put on our cameras on, that should be Noor saying this. We can have a session of photo, and that is a thank you for me. Any question, we are here. We are going to answer And we are also going to share this document with you so that you can look at it keenly. And if you have any question, we are going to form the WhatsApp group. You can pass the question to the WhatsApp group and let's engage. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, the Honorable Caroline, for sharing the final report format in detail. I think everyone are very clear regarding their reporting format, and you will get the documents as well. So I hope don't we have that much problem. So let's move forward. So I would like to welcome, I don't think that Nora is here. Nora? Okay, Karen, I can see the Nora. So are we going to the question and answer session right now?
Yeah, I think we should go to the questions and answer
So
session.
I can see a question, and before when Caroline, you are going to share, you already share your answer as well. Thank you. So yes, of course. Yeah, please, I would like to request each and everyone, if you have any question regarding the today's Icare mini project orientation program for the mentors, I think we will able to give our answer. You can raise your hand. Yes, yes. Mashiga, yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm Geoffrey Masika from Kenya. Thank you for presentations and detailed presentation actually with, though it is a little bit in detail, I think I'm requesting maybe on behalf of my colleagues that we have some documentation, maybe you share so that we are able to go through when we have some time. Actually, it has been good, but my concern is about the projects that we are going to help in mentorship. Does the project come from the participants, or where does the project come from? Are the participants that decide on the projects that they want to do, or how is it done? And my second question is, since the project started some years back, are there members who are still in progress until now, when the project started until now? Are they doing mentorship until now as the years go by? And my last question is, would be about the Icare Sustainability. I think we have several projects that are in place, but what projects maybe could have impact more than others? Because actually we see that there are different needs. For example, I'm in Turkana County, and needs from Turkana County to other places is quite different. So are there priorities in terms of projects or not? I think that will be my last question. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Caroline, please.
I think your first question was, which was your first question? Your first question was whether the projects come from the participants or not.
Yes.
Yes. So once we recruit the participants, we ask them to submit the concept notes. The idea is to have participants who are within the local vicinity and are seeing their daily challenges, and they're seeing these challenges. So we encourage them to create solutions for these challenges. So yes, it is the participants who come up with these projects, and it is the participants who are going to do the project. The work of the mentor is only to guide the participants and also to give them professional outlook, help them and like present their projects in a professional way. Because some of them, as I mentioned previously, are aspiring social impact leaders. They just see a problem, they want to create a solution, but they have no experience at all. That may not be the case, especially in this 2023 run, because most of the people that have registered projects with us I've noticed that organizations, although some of these organizations are startups. So also, the challenges that startups have. So as an expert, we expect you to help them through their projects, try to design their projects better. Of course, they've given us the concept note, which we are going to share with you people. Once we connect you with the participant, we will share with you the concept note so that you are able to understand what this participant is trying to achieve. And based on your knowledge and your expertise and experience, you're going to be able to help guide this participant where help is really needed. So this is where I said thinking out of the box comes in. So the second question was about the previous mentors, if they have, they are continuously mentoring the participants. We encourage the mentors to keep in touch with the participants. Like I mentioned, we have some mentors who, especially from 2021, who have been keeping in touch with their participants and following up on what they are doing. And of course, they tell us how far the project is. So this is a personal initiative from mentor to mentor. But what I would say is that the retainance of our mentors has been very high, because we've still maintained contact with our previous mentors through the WhatsApp group. So we continue to have conversation with them, and we also engage these mentors in some activities like you can see Engineer Nawal, for example. She was our 2022 mentor, and now she's heading our monitoring and evaluation committee team. So we also have our previous mentors engaged in the various committees, and we are continuously working on improving the program, the mini projects program. And the improvement for this year was creating the different committees that support the mini projects program. So they're still working their ways in terms of supporting the mini projects program better. But this is the evidence that at least people still resonate with the mini projects program, and they want to continuously serve and continuously follow up on the projects. For the third question about Icare, we have started, because most of the projects that we did, we have been doing, have been now the mini projects program, where we don't own the projects, the participants own the projects. So the participants come with the solutions they want to do for their communities, and we only support them through mentorship. But we have our own physical projects that we are working on, like our brother Nelson mentioned previously. For example, right now we are engaged with a partnership with a US-based organization or a company, and we are looking at creating smart villages, around 1,000 smart villages in different parts of the world. But for Icare, we are partnering specifically in Kenya for now, and probably we may spill over to other regions that we are connected with. But for now, we are specifically focusing on Kenya. And our solution as Icare in the partnership is the fish project. We have a fish project that we call Backyard Fish Pond, Icare Smart Backyard Pond Technology, where we fortify the fish with omega-3 fit for lactating mothers and regions that may be hunger-stricken. So we are looking at the project in terms of food security, and then also looking at it in a way that it can also be a means of sustenance for these communities through also value addition and all that. So the fish project will be included in the smart village, which is a combination of a lot of other projects and different partners coming together doing different things. Within the smart village, we will have the rural electrification, we will have water supply, we will have health and wellness, and we'll also have bag manufacturing. So it's a whole lot of group of people coming together and trying to create solution for a particular
well, thank you so
village.
much, Caroline. Thank you so much for sharing insightful answer. Thank you so much for your question. So I can see the another hand with us. So yes, the Honorable Maria Masesai, please share your question.
Yeah, I really thank God this evening to us here. I'm Yira Maramasi from Sierra Leone. I have learned a lot. I have my printing shop, which is Kofa Print Investment. At the same time, I'm managing a church, as head of a church in Sierra Leone here. I'm designing a project today. I've learned a lot because this is my first day today to join you people. Even with my wife, which is my BT contact, of course, she also registered in Icare, which is submitted to. My question here is now asking for a WhatsApp group because we really need a detail about Icare. Joining a WhatsApp group, how can you get our numbers? To add them because our WhatsApp group will be easier, in terms of document sharing, in terms of mentorship, all those things. I'm really happy today because, looking at heading a church, a big church, it take a lot because a church cannot only be sustained by only tithe and offering, you should be able to design a project. And most of my partners are not here; they are outside. The headquarters is in Australia, so I'm really, really happy for this kind of teaching or groups. So how can we able to get? How can you able to get our numbers to include them in the WhatsApp group? And we want this document to be shared with us so that we'll be practicing more. So how can you get our WhatsApp number now? That's my question.
Okay, when we asked you to register as a mentor, we asked for your numbers. But at the same time, we also have another way. We will create the WhatsApp group, share via email, the link. So it will be easier for you to just join the group. So we'll do a lot of other communications after this. So don't worry.
Okay. The last question now, is the Icare, because this is my first time. I'm really happy. I'm well excited today. When I look at the design of project title, I've been sending reports, that is, but today it has improved my write-up now in the project system. My question here is now, the Icare, I really want to know a detail about Icare, what they are focusing at, and again, what is the main objective of this Icare?
Shayek, would you like to answer that? Shayek, are you there?
Brother Shaikh
Can you
Ahmed,
unmute
are you
yourself?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah. But the network is a bit bad, yeah. So.
Okay, brother, can you share your question once again so that Shaikh Ahmed can answer that?
Yeah. Actually, I missed the question a bit because there was a network interruption.
he was asking about what ICARE focuses on in terms of the vision, mission. What do we focus on? So you can just give him a brief answer on that.
Yeah. So basically, I think already we described about the like SDG and other things. So as we know that there are like 17 important SDGs and other block by block work that are conducted by the UN at a broader scale, and then all the international NGOs and the other organizations are kind of contributing to it, all to those 17 goals. So of course, like being an international NGO, ICARE is kind of contributing into the education part, which is one of the very prominent goal. Then environment, livelihood, along with tagging the technological side, taking into concern, of course, the gender equality and balance. Also sharing a bit of concern about the climate financing, if like at a very moderate scale, not in a huge scale. And then of course, ICARE believes in the goal 17, which is like the collaboration and partnership. So based on this, I think the main sector or target of objective is to be aligned with the UNSCC. Of course, like this mini project is also a part of it, so that these young leaders and young project initiators can come up with good ideas which can be valued in that particular platform or context. And for the location wise, ICARE is primarily focused on like the African nation, with a target of overall escalation in the global south, which we know that there are 4 continents of global south, 4 sectors of location: South America, Africa, South Asia, Southeast Asia. So very prominent in the African region, then like semi-prominent in the South and Southeast Asia, and then also scaling up into the South America. So that's kind of summarizes or like provides a overall snapshot of ICARE in a nutshell. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think so. Shaikh Ahmed already shared your question answer. So, is there any question left? Okay, I can.
Maybe we can switch off our cameras so that we can take snapshots for those who are comfortable.
Absolutely.
No,
So I'd like
can you do that?
Yeah, of course I can. So I would like to request all of you, if you can open your camera. We will have to have a good photo so that it will help to use the photo in our annexation or our magazine. Thank you so much. Whoever open your camera. Oh yes, I think I also open the camera. So Susan, if you can, and others, okay. So I think we should go for it. Engineer Nawal, if you can, so you can also join with us. Engineer Nawal, can you please open your camera so that we'll have it recorded?
It's okay for those who are not able to put on their cameras.
Okay.
It's very okay.
Please smile. Perfect. So thank you so much for your support and passion. So
Thank you.
it was a great session, and thank you so much to all of you for listening us regarding the ICARE main project orientation program as a mentor. I hope you will get all the guidance from this today's event, conference, and at the same time, you will have all the documents to go through, as well as whenever you face any problem for your clarification required, you can actually get connected with the Caroline or me if I can, or others in ICARE. team. So we will able to share you and give you all of your question answered. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for your words, words of wisdom, whoever shared your words with us. Thank you so much. So I'm really feel glad to have all of you in here. Thank you, Mariama, for giving continuous support and love.
Thank
So
you.
thank you all
Amen.
of you.
Thank
So
you.
good night from Bangladesh, and good evening, good morning to all of you once again. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Bye
See you
bye.
another program.
Bye.